November is National Hospice and Palliative Care Month.
And UP Home Health Hospice is celebrating with World of Angels displays. Partnering Marquette County businesses will have informational angels displayed in their windows. This is to educate people on the ins and outs of hospice care. UP Home Health and Hospice representative says some people find hospice intimidating, so the displays are helpful.
If we get to spend the month of November talking about how hospice is about living, talking about how hospice is about a family and patients, making their priorities and having a great life and having a fully skilled, hospice team behind them to help them through their life-limiting diagnosis, the better.
To learn more, you can go to uppermichigansource.com or the TV6 and Fox UP mobile news app.